Good evening, good evening, good evening. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope everyone is all well. I'm here to talk about all things West Ham United. Lingard being mentioned again, which is laughable. Birthday, and City. Do you know what I'm saying? Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video. Put your comments in the comments section. The link is in the chat. Well, it was in the chat. I don't know where it is now, but it was in the chat. And yeah, if you want to come on, have your say, by all means, come on and have your say, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. I have had quite a good week, really. I must admit, I'm not going to grumble. Everything has been good in the hood, and some of the links that I've seen coming up, yeah, it's pinned in the chat. Right, so yeah, Jesse Lingard, ladies and gentlemen, apparently it's been linked. Thiago Silva has been linked. We had more links and the links to London. Do you know what I'm saying? But yes, this is West Ham for you. And obviously, come Saturday afternoon, we go to Manchester City, a place where we haven't won there since Billage, I think. Last time we actually won a game there, I think it was under Billage when we beat them 2-1 through Victor Moses. I might be wrong, but I can't remember another time where West Ham have gone to Manchester City and won, which is bad considering we need a result, but it is what it is. Hammerhead's in the chat. He says, I'm done with all these links. Believe it when they're in the shirt. Listen, you can believe it when they're in the shirt, mate. I'm the same as you. I only trust the people that are reliable, and I don't listen to no cock and ball bollocks. Do you know what I'm saying? Keith Knight's in the chat. Shout out to him. Evening, James, mate. Hope you're well. Shout out to Glenn. Glenn, I'm going to get that mystery box off to you in the new year, mate. I got rid of the other three. I still haven't heard if the other one got over to Ireland yet, so I'm hoping it did, and we will see. But listen, chuck your comments in. Obviously, City on Saturday, 3 o'clock. Less said about that, the better, innit? Let's be real. I think West Ham are going to go there and be. It's a containing job. Simple as that. It's just contain them and hope that we can not get hammered in this game. If we get hammered in the game, then it's going to be an uphill task for me. Right? It doesn't matter about Manchester City. The ones that matter for me is the Fulham, Brighton, Wolves. They're the three that I need to see. They're the three I need to see win. And I watched Fulham last night, and I'm going to be honest, Fulham are going to be a tough nut to crack, mate. They only went down like right at the death against Newcastle, and they're not a bad side. And I'm expecting West Ham to go there and play Fulham at the LS and win. And West Ham struggle to win games at the minute, so it is a bit of a tricky one. Do you know what I mean? 10 in goal. Yeah, no, fair enough. 4-0 City. Yeah, I'll take a 1-0 City right now. I really would. I'll take a 2-1 or 3-1 Manchester City. Yeah, listen, right. But against them, right, we all know that that's a containing job all day long. The issue is us as a team. Now, I've seen a few links this week with players, and some of them are laughable. I've seen Jesse Lingard being linked. I've seen Thiago Silva being linked. I've seen people saying about Earthy could be out the door and Guilherme out the door. Honestly, if we do go down, which I'm not saying we're down yet, because I don't think we're down yet. I think there's still games to play, but Nuno's got to sort himself out. This Nuno love affair that people have got, right? And I'm not a vigilante against managers. Far from it. I always say you got to give the manager time, but we are running out of time. That's the problem. Every game that goes past is 3 points less than we can earn. And for me, I need to see West Ham win games of football. Like, no wins means no Premier League football at the end of the day. This argument of like, oh, since Nuno's come in, we've looked better as a structure. I've seen it on other fan channels and all. And I'm going to call it out straight away. Have we really seen better? Or have we improved because we was that shit under the previous managers that he was always going to improve us? But has he improved us enough to get us out of the situation that we're currently in? I don't believe so. I really don't. Like, I'm not against Nuno, but fuck me. He's defensive. He's a defensive manager who can't keep a clean sheet. That is a worrying sign for me. Like, that's worrying. Like, if we've got a manager that can't keep no clean sheets, how are we supposed to win games of football like to nil? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not good. Who do we bring in if Nuno goes? That's the problem, mate. He ain't going nowhere. Like, listen, I'm going to get behind him and support him, but I do feel that he needs to be called out on certain things, and certain things that he's done so far in his reign has been baffling. Like, the thing that happened last weekend will stick with me for a long time. One week it's sub against Brighton. The following week it's no subs and he's hoping for the best. And I just don't understand it. And even when you're bringing subs on, you're bringing on people like fucking Guido Rodriguez. Like, you know, but it all goes back to one man. That's the problem. And listen, this after hours show, I'm going to do an hour set. So anyone who wants to come up there, so they can. It all goes back to one man for me. And that one man is the owner. I've been saying it for a long time. It's got a bit quiet on the old protest. That needs to be up, like the ante needs to be upped on that straight away. Like, absolutely fucking straight away. Because Sullivan, this falls on Sullivan. It starts with Sullivan and it ends with Sullivan, and everything in the middle of that is collateral damage. It's as simple as that. It's everyone's sort of taking the hits. Lopetegui, Potter, Nuno, players. Yeah, it all goes back to Sullivan. And I'm seeing people now coming out and saying, "Oh, Sullivan, we want you to leave." Right? And I see a video the other day, and I'm going to be straight. They're fucking hypocrites, mate. They are hypocrites, big time. And I am not one to bullshit you at all. But there is some hypocritical bastards in this community. Massively so. Because these were the same people who turned around and said to me when I first started, "Don't talk about the board, James." And now everyone's talking about the board. So I do think it's quite hypocritical that they're calling out the board now, when for years they was not saying nothing about the fucking board. And I was the only voice saying that this owner is going to take us down if we don't sort ourselves out. Yeah. But nevertheless, it is what it is. This is what I've learned in this game, doing this game, is not everything is what it seems. Everyone seems to be, how can I put it, with the crowd. They go with the crowd, and then when the crowd starts to change, they start to shift their narrative. There's only a certain few people in the YouTube world that I can safely say have been against the board from minute one. And I know they are, and I will vouch for them to the day I fucking go, because I know for a fact that they're the same as me. But there is so many people who shift from one side to the other, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Is Jay still about? Listen, I spoke to Lucas the other day. He wished me happy birthday. He said he's been manically busy. I didn't hear from Mitch. I don't know what's happened to Mitch. I think he's got a bird that tells him what to do now. So you know what they're like, lads. Like, if you've got a bird that tells you what to do, then he's never allowed on. And Jay, I haven't spoken to Jay for ages. I know he's got a family member of his is not too well, and I've sort of left him to get on with it. Listen, they know where I am. At the end of the day, it's a free channel. This one, anyone comes on, they can say what they fucking like within reason. So they know where I am. They've only got to message me, and they can say, "James, I want to come on and have me say." Send them the link. They're on. Simple as that. So that's what it is. So yeah, I haven't spoke to Jay for a while, but I hope he's all right out there. Let's get to Colin. James, mate, good evening. Can't believe we are being linked with Beto. Fucking Beto, mate. Beto and Nuno going down though. We need Nuno to change his philosophy for me. He needs to go out for the win and not look for the draw. We should win. We should win Saturday. Cool, mate. I think you're asking a lot to try and beat City. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is. James, you're not thinking of leaving the channel, or have I read this wrong? I have been thinking about FJG Irons. I'm not going to lie, but I am going to say this. I probably will carry it on. I probably will. I had a lot of shit a few months ago, or a few weeks back, saying that 4 to 6 weeks ago, and I've sort of said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to carry it on, right? And whatever happens, happens. So I will be around. I will be carrying on doing this. Someone actually messaged me and sent me a really nice message. I like doing these late night videos because I get to say what I fucking like. and it's a bit of a pastime because there's nothing on fucking telly. So and I've got a Christmas tree. Look at this Christmas tree, ladies and gentlemen. Look, bosh! Look at that. I mean, magic. That's magic. So yeah. Listen, I'll probably will carry it on for the people because the way I look at this is if people want to be here, they will be. That's my attitude now. Is if people want to be on E20 Zone TV or they want to come on have their say on E20 Zone TV or be a part of it, um, anyone's welcome to me, right? And I don't care who you are, where you're from, even if you don't like me and you've got an opinion against what I'm saying. Opinion's good, man, because we all care about the same fucking thing, but we all care about the same club in its own right. The difference is that what I've learned in the YouTube world, and I have learned this, there's a lot of Billy bullshitters out there, a hell of a lot so. And I look at other fan channels and they all help each other out. Not so much on here. And it's all very much ego. Do you know what I'm saying? And who wants to be top dog? I don't want to be top dog, but I'll tell you one thing, what I will stand for on here is forever long I've been doing this for, and that'll be 4 years, that'll be 5 years in September. I've been true to every word I've said. And I can stand by that, put a fucking Bible in front of me and say, right, swear on that Bible. And I will stand by it and say everything I've said has been true and honest. I don't believe there's many other things that other people have done, mate, if I'm being truthfully honest. So that's just my opinion on that. I've been following your channel for several months now. It's been one of the best out there, channels out there. Keep it going, please. Because you've said it, FJG Irons, I'm going to do it for you, son. I'm going to do it. I probably will carry it on, mate, because, the buzz of it, right? And I love this club like the next person, right? I really do. And I did warn you about Sullivan in the end. That's the problem. If this fucker does send us down, I won't look at Nuno at the end. I look at him and I look at certain issues that got in the way of it all. And it does go back to Moyes. It does. And then them people that wanted Moyes out the door and was relentless about getting Moyes out the fucking door, right? And I will stand by it and I will debate any of them. Any of them who want to have a debate with me about it, I will say it. Right? If West Ham do go down, they are going to be partially responsible for that. And I will debate them. No problem at all. Because for me, when you are screaming for change, we needed to get fucking Sullivan out before we can ask for that change. And we just never did. And Sullivan's took the piss out of all of us, really. Deep down, when you weigh it up, yeah, he took the piss out of all of us. He took the piss out of the people that wanted the change. And he took the piss out of the people who didn't want the change in the end. Because, like, for it to come to this moment, and if you ask me right now as a betting man, what do you think? Where do you think West Ham are heading? I think West Ham are going down. I generally do. And it pains me to say it, but I don't feel like West Ham have got enough firepower in the ranks. I don't think Sullivan's going to do the honest thing and help his club out in January. I really don't. I think he's just gonna make do with what he's got and chuck a few loans in there, right? And ask Nuno to save us through doing that. And I stand by my words, what I've been saying for a long time. I think we're going to run out of time. I think we're going to run out of games, and that's what's going to kill us in the end. I hope I am wrong. I generally do, because I don't want to see this club in the Championship. I generally don't. I want to see West Ham, the standards being high and setting a bar that's high. Do you know what I'm saying? But I do fear the worst this year because I look at us and we rely too much on individuals and not enough as a team. Simply do. Right, anyone who wants to come on, Tony, if you want to come on, mate, you're more than welcome to come on, son. Let's get to Kane's comment. Coventry quoting 200 million for Hadji Wright. Just pay the money. I did see it, mate. Very laughable, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Please don't leave your channel, James. You talk a lot of sense about West Ham, mate. I do try, mate. I do try. What we got here? Let's have a look. Hi, James. Why are you not trying to bring in quality instead of mediocre players? He won't do it, mate. Sullivan won't do it. Sullivan, if you know about Sullivan, right? See, some people have lives, right? And some people like me have been studying Sullivan for a long time, right? He does the same tricks over and over again. My problem is with Sullivan in this January window coming is when does he bring these players in? That's my problem. Is we need them on the 1st of Jan, but we've got big games in January. We need reinforcements on the 1st of January, right? For Wolves, for Sunderland, for Forest, for fucking the FA Cup, for Tottenham away, for Chelsea away. We need all these. We need reinforcements and we need quality. And I just don't think he's going to do it, mate. And that's what worries me. And I can't believe it that it's gone full circle with West Ham. It's laughable, really, when it goes full circle. And now we're hoping Sullivan does the right thing. And he should have done the right thing in the fucking first place. But, you know, it is what it is. Right, I'll sort this out so Tone can come in. Just give us a sec, Tone. Do they know here? Tone, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. You?
Merry Christmas, Tone. What you saying about West Ham, son?
Doom and gloom, man. Doom and gloom. It's not. I mean, I just did a show just a minute ago myself, and reading that, you know, you try to be optimistic, but you're depressing yourself at the same time, but not trying to reveal it as you're going along. Looking where we're linked to, like, you know, list as long as your arm. I don't know where we're going to be going with this, mate, because, like, you know, you've said this from day one, basically, and unfortunately, it's starting to hit true home base that we're in a relegation dogfight. We can't deny that because we're December now.
Yeah,
and after these 5 months, if we don't get this window right with what we can bring in, and I don't know what we can bring in with the limited funds.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we're truly royally effed, basically.
I think for me, Saturday's big because we must stay close to Leeds. I think it's out of us and Leeds. I don't think no other club comes into it. When people say, "Oh, you've got to pull Fulham into it, you've got to pull these other teams," it's all bollocks. Yeah. I think they will win games, get points, and just go away enough. I think it's out of us and Leeds. Now, if someone said to me at the start of the season, West Ham versus Leeds head to head, right? Who do you think will stay up? I will back us to the hill. The problem is, I don't back us with Sullivan in charge come a January window where we know we need help. This is where the problem is. Sullivan's going to have to do something that he's never done. He's never done it, Tone, ever, and act early.
Well, I think his hand's going to be forced now, mate, and that's the thing. There's no two ways about it. I mean, you know, I said earlier on, I don't know if you realise it yourself, but it's not so much the teams above us.
Yeah,
you've got to look at Burnley. If he suddenly they get a little bit of form, and we drop a place.
I don't know about Burnley because I think, Tone, that Burnley will do what they usually do. They will win a game at home, lose 2 or 3 away, and lose the odd and draw a game. But I don't think they will do enough because they're a bit like us at the minute. They concede every game.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely
the thing is with Leeds have got the home form. And people keep saying to me, "Oh, the Ellen Road myth." Well, it's better than our fucking home form. I know that for certain. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, if we're going to stay up, we need to sign early in the window. And I do think the next 3 games after the City game, because I'm not expecting nothing against City, right? As long as West Ham, I think West Ham will probably go down 2-0, if I'm being honest, against City. I think West Ham will be hard to beat. City will score again. That'll be it. It'll be very similar to the Arsenal game. I can see that happening. Like when we lost 2-0 to Arsenal, I can see that happening. The issue is it's the Fulham, Brighton, and Wolves game. Right, I need to see 7 points out of them 3. If we get 6, it's no real damage, but it is what it is. If we get less than 6, I think we're in fucking massive shit, big time.
Yeah, for me. I mean, we need maximum points, don't we? Simple as that. Without them, as you said, if Leeds start pulling away, then it's a mountain to climb. And like I said, it's the time of the year, James. If this was October time and that, you wouldn't be so concerned. But, you know, there was no improvement over them last couple of months in, like, points-wise. And because of that, we are where we are. And now, if we don't kind of win the next couple of games coming up, especially into the new year, it's worrying.
What do you think of Nuno? What do you think of Nuno, Tone?
The thing is, if you look at it, we know there's a good manager there. He's proven that. But it's what his tactics or what goes through his head. I mean, the Bournemouth one, I still stay to this day, that's the one that baffles me more than anything of all the game. I think that's the worst decision he made by making that change early by taking Wilson off, who was still in
Completely
form.
agree.
You know, and if it wasn't for that, I think we'd have got a third goal, and that would have shut up shop. That would be done. We'll be sitting at 14th from that weekend.
Yeah.
To make the change that early, and when the results didn't lie, 25 pelters against our 2. That just shows you where we went wrong. And it's them kind of things you've got to question with Nuno. Why does he go through that thing?
I completely agree with you.
Did he do it at Forest? I mean, look at Forest the year before and that. He got they were down towards the relegation thing, but he just managed to keep them up, and then they had a decent season.
Mm.
I can't see that happening with us because, unfortunately, like you've already mentioned, we've got a chairman that can't dip his hand in his pocket, whereas Marinakis has got no problems giving him money to buy players.
Yeah,
Proved that last year.
That's the problem. Sullivan's going to have to do something he's never done in his life, and that is act early, which is a shame. I agree with you about the Bournemouth game. I people saying to me it's a good point. Like, get in the fucking bin, get in the bin. Like, for me, like, that Bournemouth game killed me. Like, was 2-0 up, was in control of that game, and then what it is, people are trying to find reasoning when there is no reasoning. Right, and like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to find something when you've got to stand back, look at it, and go, that is wrong, right? And what he done at Bournemouth was wrong, right? The Bournemouth game was wrong. The Brighton game made no sense. And listen, I know we got done by VAR. I understand that, and listen, two things can be right at the same time. The VAR call was bad, right? Disgusting decision, and we'd all agree with that as fans. But taking off sub after sub after sub, and consistently taking off your front man when you're in the counter-attacking unit made no sense. Like, that to me makes no sense. If you go and get the next goal, you win the game, right? It's like, I'm more of a let's kill this fucking team rather than let's not sit there and try and hold on for dear life. Do you know what I'm saying, Tom?
Exactly, mate. Because when 2-0 doesn't guarantee you'll win. Not in this day and age.
True.
They get one goal in there, and then suddenly your arsehole's going at that point, and also then they get the equaliser. Full well what's coming. And yeah, I agree with you. 2-0 up, you kill the game off. You don't go suddenly all goal defensive.
Yeah.
And it's proved that like the Villa game, and again, it's the same thing. We could have done a lot better. I mean, I don't know about you. I think you said it I think you streamed it, didn't you? Why start Paqueta?
Don't get me started on him, mate.
He was a passenger.
There's still people out there now trying to defend him. And listen, I've seen some of the best players play at West Ham. Right? I see Paolo Di Canio when he was fucking amazing. I've seen Dimitri Payet. I've seen people like Dean Ashton, right? Not a similar player to Paqueta, but I've seen Dean Ashton who's fucking run the show for West Ham in games before. Right? I've seen people like Bobby Zamora who will fucking throw his like heart and soul into everything. Yeah, Marlon Airwood and things like that back in the day. When I look at Lucas Paqueta, right, when people say he's world class on his day, well, his day's 1 in about 50. Like, and the thing is, we don't need passengers, right? The problem I've got is people would rather see some flamboyant Brazilian wonder kid, yeah. Like, people keep telling me like that Luis Guilherme. And I'm like, don't you realise that if we don't sort ourselves out, we're going down, and these fuckers are gone. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather sell these players now, bring people in who are prepared for the fight. And do you know what West Ham need? And I could see it happening in this January window, right? Is a fucking Harry Maguire. That's exactly what West Ham need. Someone who's at the back, who can header the ball away. He's good at both boxes. That is what West Ham needs. A centre half who's not prepared to throw his head on everything. We need an attacker who's prepared to fight for this club. I don't think Lucas Paqueta fights enough for me. I feel like the Billy Bonds thing has overtook it for me. I don't know about you on that, but that Billy Bonds thing, when the day Billy Bonds died, and it all come out, and he goes and gets sent off. For me, that was the day where I washed my hands at Lucas Paqueta. I went, no, you've gone way over the line there.
Yeah, total lack of respect at that point, wasn't it? I mean, he talked himself into that sending off in the first place. And then even then, you've got to question yourself, why are you being, why do that when you know full well we needed you and you've talked yourself into the book?
Yeah.
That, as you said, that just kind of, that stinks. There was something about that, but, just kind of left a bit of taste in your mouth, basically.
Yeah, I just don't get it, Tone. I just don't get the Lucas Paqueta thing. Well, and that's on Nuno and all this is, right? And because Nuno had the opportunity to make him earn his spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but for some reason he just brings him straight back in. And like, listen, I'm not I'm not a James Ward-Prowse fucking fanboy or nothing, far from it. But the way he's treated James Ward-Prowse, come in and completely exiled the geezer out of fucking East London completely. I don't know where the geezer is now, right? And then you've got Lucas Paqueta, who not only does that, shits on the team, shits on his teammates, shits on the fans, and people are going, well, no, he's got to play the next game because he's
Why?
world class on his day.
When? You know, to flash in the pan for 5 minutes, so not even that, and switch off again back to where you being.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, for me, it's a case of that's the time done. I mean, at least if you look at it, full crew, if the rumour's true, and that at least he's doing he's doing what he needs to do, and that, and getting out. So if Petkett's got to do the same.
Do you know if West Ham do go down, Tone? Where do you put the blame for it?
Well, there's only one place, mate, and they're the ones that appoint the manager in the first place, and that's the very top.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
It is sickening, mate. I'm not going to lie, and it will going down. Well, right. People think going down gets rid of Sullivan. I can tell you right now, it don't. It makes it 10 times worse because he will be like. If you think that this fucker ain't going to spend money in the Premier League, he ain't going to spend no money in the Championship to try and get us out of there, right? And the thing is, the Championship is competitive. Now, if West Ham did go down, for argument's sake, I think West Ham would have a great chance of getting back at the first attempt. I really do. Right, and I'd have money on it straight away. But if West Ham failed to do that in the first attempt, then it would be a problem because I think players will stay there for a year, try and get West Ham out of there.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't get out the first time, then so be it. The issue is that it's the owner. It always has been the owner. It always will be the owner. And when years ago people was having to go at managers and all that, I always said, look at the owner. Like, keep your focus on the owner. And I am glad that people are taking it over now, like Hammers United are doing stuff. The issue is that does it mean West Ham going down this season? That's the $1 million question.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, as much as we don't want to say it, I know you don't like saying it. It's becoming more and more of a reality. That's the worst part about it. 1 minute it was, like I said, a couple of months back, and that is a case of the fear of it. Now you can virtually touch it, and all of a sudden it's becoming the case of it will become, and that in itself is it'll be a sad day for the club if it goes like that.
Yeah, I hear, mate. I really do. Let's get to his comment. James, do you think there's a chance that Alvarez could return in January? I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. Whose place does he take? All right, for once, it ain't the midfield that's the problem. We've got a defence that's a problem, and the centre forward that's the problem there. It just seems like, and I never forget someone saying this on a space, right? About 5 months ago, 4 months ago, I think it was, start of September. They said to me, when we started playing shit under Potter, they said, James, I think there's too many problems that can be solved in one sitting. Like, you've got midfielders a problem, defence is a problem. We got players who don't want to be here. That's a problem. There's players that we can't shift. That's a problem. And they always said to me, if this all happens at once, then we've got no chance of staying up. Right? I'm not going to give up hope, but West Ham have to start winning games. Like, they have to start winning games. One thing I've always said, and I've stood by this from minute one, is West Ham, when they go down, they always fight away to the end. Right? And I'm seeing it right now. Right? It wouldn't surprise me West Ham come out the traps in the new year, get a couple of wins, and we're there or thereabouts. It is basically us versus Leeds to whoever stays up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I get what you're saying on that one. I mean, we saw it before, though, innit? When you think the relegation thing, you mentioned about going down, but you look at that year we went down, and the kids that you thought would stay with us to get us up, slowly but surely, all disappeared.
Yeah, I know.
Clubs, and that's the worrying thing in that one season. The fact is, with Sullivan, he ain't going to be worried if we do go down, because he knows at the end of the day and that there's going to be the parachute payments that's going to cover certain things. So all he's going to smell is a pound and pence on. He ain't going if he kind of dips his hand in the pocket. He's not going to get anything class in. He's going to get something that'll do for that division and hope for the best.
Yeah, what he'll do, he will buy the best Championship strikers, try and get us out of the league. That's exactly what you try and do. I'm going to ask you something, Tom. Would you stop the Hammers United protests right now until West Ham are in a position that maybe we know where we're at? Or do you continue?
I wouldn't say stop it, because if you do that, then all the work and the effort that's been put in to get to that stage in the first place counts for nothing.
Yeah.
And you know well that, with all the other channels and all the people, all the fans that kind of got involved in that, we know it did cause some kind of damage because the media got involved. So when the media gets involved, that then putting the clubs in the limelight. So if you stop that, then what's the point of doing it in the first place? Because you've now just completely made an arse of it, and that's not what it was. That's what it was achieved for. It was there to cause a purpose.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I'm looking outside the box really right now, because it is like the alarm bells are ringing loud and very clear. Do you know what I'm saying? And the sign of fucking the Championship is like sending us in that direction. For me, it all goes on the January window. What are you predicting in the January window, Tom?
3, 4 players at the most if we do go for anyone. But I think we've got to kind of offload more than anything else. I mean, the Alvarez thing, I think I said it earlier, he's committed to a season-long loan, so I don't think we can record him anyway. So
no,
that's that kind of thing. But I think it's only going to be literally 3, we're lucky 4 players. But it already comes down to what we're like. I mean, they talk about Guido being loaned out to Ajax. Ajax are keen on him, apparently. But no option. It's just a loan, just to help him out during the winter period. So he's only going to, he'll be returning back come the end of that season if he does go.
I think it's 3 players. I think West Ham go for 2 loans and a permanent. I think the permanent, if I'm predicting it right now, the permanent's going to be Traore from Fulham. Because he's got 6 months left on his deal, so it'd be a minimal fee. And I can see 2 loans. I can't see a centre forward coming in who's gonna, because what it is, you've got to buy a centre forward that's better than Callum Wilson. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So we can't buy. And I'm seeing people saying about Josh Sargent, and I've got American people messaging me and saying, James, you want to stay away from him? He's fucking shit, right? I had one Norwich fan message me on here and turned around and said to me, "Nah, mate, he's nowhere near ready for the for the Premier League. Like they say he's just about good enough for the Championship." So I don't know about the striker front. What I could see happening is I could see wingers coming in and being converted, right? And I do think with this Paqueta thing, I would get rid of him in the January window, right? I'd get some money for him and then go out and try and buy someone like either abroad or someone in the UK who's up and coming, who's ready to rock and roll, right? Because West Ham have to act like a big club. The problem is where we are in the league right now, who's going to take that risk? Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing, innit? It is that thing alone, mate. I mean, interestingly, when you think about it, I mean, would you take, for instance, I mean, one of the names that has been mentioned, and of course he knows the Premier League. Would you take Chris Woods?
I would, fucking right now. Ideal. He's a big centre forward, holds the ball up well, scores goals in the Premier League. One thing West Ham can't do, they've got to stop gambling. All right, and it's coming from fucking me, which is embarrassing, right? You know what I'm saying, right? It's coming from fucking me, who loves a punt, right? But West Ham United, as a football club, have to stop fucking gambling, because they are gambling with signings, and they're hoping that they're going to work out. What they need to do is go after players who are basically Premier League proven, right? And this whole Premier League proven, right? People used to say it's a myth under Moyes, but it's fucking true. Right, we need players in who are ready for the fight. Right, we need fighters in the side. I think the midfield's good. I think the defence needs 1 centre half, if not 2. Like I think Max Kilman has been linked to Crystal Palace, which for me, 20 million from Crystal Palace for Max Kilman, I'll take it right now. I think that's one of the worst signings that we've done in recent time. But yeah, again, that was to appease a manager 2 managers back.
Yeah.
I think we've got a lot of work And the problem is, Tony, I don't. This is where I go back to what I've been saying for a long time. I don't think we're going to have the time. I think we're going to run out of time because we need to sort the defense out. We need to sort the attack out. We've got players at AFCON now. It's it's so much stuff that has to happen, and we have to make sure that Leeds don't get ahead of us. Right, that's another thing.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I mean, that's the kind of benchmark we've got at the moment. And I think you're right what you're saying about the time frame. Even if he does bring some players in, is he going to have enough time to adapt them into the team and move forward? I mean, the only saving grace you've got to look at it like this: we're playing City on Saturday. This probably you might see Paqueta's best performance ever. If he
True.
thinks there's a hope that it's going to go, I'll have him.
Yeah.
If that's the case, cash in, get rid. But no, I agree with what you're saying, mate. It will get it over the line with these three, possibly 4-2 players. If you can't integrate them, and we don't start pulling results out of the hat, we are done.
I agree. I really do. I'll just look at the January window, and to shout out to Mark. I think Mark's in the chat. He come on last time, and he told me, he said the earliest that Sullivan worked on transfers is the 20th of January. He went back as far as 5-6 years ago, and there was only like I think the first signing every time is like 20th of January all the way up to the 28th, 29th, 30th of January. Sullivan works late. And the issue is, I understand why he works late because he tries to get the best deal possible. But this geriatric prick needs to start thinking about this club more. It's such a fucking dilemma that we want the geezer out, right? I want him out as much as you, Tone, right? And as much as people in me chat. The issue is, we need him to do the right thing. Like it's crazy.
It kind of you're gritting your teeth when you say it at the same point, but it unfortunately that is the bare facts. We need him to kind of dip his hand in his pocket to get us something to get us out of the hole.
Yeah, like it's fucking crazy, really. If I'm in truth, to be honest. Right, there's a player that's sort of popped his ugly head up again. Right, I can't believe I'm saying it in 2025. Jesse Lingard, mate. Would you have Jesse Lingard for 6 months' time?
No.
On a free?
No.
Why?
Because you got to think that man could have signed for us in the first place, but just again another one, just smelt the money, and that's why he joined Forest and didn't even play for him really when you think about it.
Not really, no.
He went abroad again, money, and then the worst part about it was, to say that his Rolex watch got stolen at the London Stadium, and there was no truth in it whatsoever. No. You had the opportunity.
It's embarrassing how far we've dropped, mate. When I look at it, right, and you go back 2 years ago, right, we was flying in the league.
Yep.
We was sick. I'll never forget it. Around this time, we just played Wolves. We just beat Wolves 3-0 at home. A few days later, we went and played Manchester United at the LS and beat them 2-1, I think it was. 2-0 or 2-1, I can't remember. No could have scored. But we were 6th in the league. And 2 years later, we're now sitting 18th. Is it in the league? 18th in the league. And we've had real danger of actually going down. For me, that sickens me, really. And do you know what? I'd love to sort of try and pinpoint where it's all gone wrong. I do think this all starts with like getting Moyes out the door. Yeah. And I don't know about you, Tone, so I'm going to ask this question, but where do you think that it has actually started? Because for me, I'm going to say this. I think it started the moment where everyone was screaming about getting Moyes out, right? And the relentlessness of getting him out. And then everyone putting their trust. Well, not everyone, because I know I fucking didn't. But everyone put in their faith in Sullivan to go and pick the right manager.
I mean, for me, as much as we loved it, it was the night we won the Europa Conference. Because Sullivan then realised that I've now got to push this club on.
Do you know what? That's very fucking true, you know, mate. Do you know what? That is. Do you know what? I would say that you're absolutely bang on the money there. Like you couldn't have. For me, I think you're right. I think I'm wrong, and I think you're right. I think it is after Prague. The more I think about it, because he had the moment to go and make us fucking huge, right? And he decided to sort of pull the drawbridge up and let the fan base go at each other when he should have dealt with it himself. So I think you're bang on there, mate, if I'm honest.
I think if you look at it, it's the case of, when you think when they moved from Upton Park and that, and they said like we're going to get you, we want to get Champions League football and this and the other. Good, to be ambitious like that. We got the Europa football and we enjoyed that for 3 years. The fact that we actually won it, I don't think he expected that. And suddenly, as soon as he saw that goal go in, kind of thing, and you can see straight away the first thing he's doing, he's straight over to Rice.
Yeah.
That's 105 million coming in straight away. Oh, that's going to counteract that part there.
True.
And then moving on from there. So he was already planning already at that point. And I think, and I still say it, and I've said it to your channel, I said it on my channel, the Moyes situation, I do believe he told him that season when Moyes went that he wasn't going to renew his contract.
Mm.
And I think once Moyes started to realise that, because I don't know if you noticed it as well, because I know I did, we didn't play the same way. And I know we got kind of bored of Moyes' football, but that particular season when Moyes went, for me, it kind of derailed itself because it wasn't the same. And I think
would you say it's after 3 years then? So basically, you're going back to June 2023, 7th of June. Fucking, it's I'm sad. I'm sorry, but 7th of June 2023. So 2.5 years ago. That's what we're going back to.
Yeah.
So in a space of 2.5 years, the damage that Sullivan's done to his club is borderline like a criminal fucking offence, isn't it? Let's be real.
Yeah. So we haven't won for 43 years. First time in 43 years, we win something like this. That should have been the kickstart for anything. I mean, as much as the man loves money, it's suddenly the case of he's now got to back up the credentials of what he's talking about in the first place when they moved to the London Stadium. Now he is actually faced with it. The stark reality suddenly hit home, and for me, yeah, like I said, I just feel like it's a case of like, fuck, what have I got to do here? Right, let's get rid of him, kind of thing, because he's got us Europe for 3 years. Let's quench the flame on that one straight off.
Do you know what I think it was? And the more you're saying it, the more it's just sort of light bulbs are going off in my head, not on that fucking tree, mind, but on my head, right? But what it is, I think the moment we won that trophy, expectation and West Ham fans expected. Absolutely. And the thing is, when Sullivan arrived, there was no expectation from West Ham fans, not one. No one expected to go and push into Europe and go and win a trophy and all that. West Ham, if I'm honest, people would rather see good football and finish 10th. Yeah, but what it is, the moment you start going up the leagues, you start qualifying for Europe, you start going far in Europe, then you win a trophy in Europe. From us being fucking massive to now us being on the verge of going down, that is disgusting, really. Do you know what I'm saying? And the problem is this fucker's not going away. He's just simply not going away. And
no,
I've always said this, yeah. I really have. And you've known me a while, Tone. I've always stood by my words.
Absolutely.
He is the one that really is going to grind us into the ground. Yeah, it ain't going to be no managers, it ain't going to be no players, really. It's going to be him, because he's like a League One owner in the Premier League. All he is content in staying there, whereas West Ham should be happy to be trying to compete. Do you know what I mean? I want West Ham to be competing for stuff, right? Can I accept West Ham having a poor season and finishing 13th? Yeah, because it's West Ham United, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So I can accept that. But one thing I can't accept, and it's the ultimate sin with me, is relegation. I can't accept that. I feel that's a crime for me.
Well, the worst part about when you listen to old Soppy Tart, when she turned around and said, our ambition is to stay up. So we it's 15 years in the Premier League.
Yeah.
hearing that kind of comment alone just tells you what the ambition of this board is.
Yeah.
And you already said it, mate. They haven't got the heart or soul of West Ham in their veins. That's unfortunate where our club's gone.
I just think it's been a build up of everything, mate. If I'm honest, I feel like it's been a build up of the stadium. Now, I've had this argument, or not argument, discussion with other YouTubers. Me and Dan Lawless, have had this discussion. Dan says about the stadium, and I say about the structure. Yeah, I think the stadium's a problem, but the structure is the bigger problem than the stadium, because buying and selling players is wrong. Right, West Ham buy players for a large amounts of money and sell them for peanuts. We never sell at the right times. We never buy at the right times, and we've got an owner that will go in and penny pinch. And I noticed it in the summer window. Right, I see the bait and switch move that he was trying to pull, because I'm a sad prick and I know how he fucking works. Do you know what I'm saying? And I can spot it a mile off, because when a leopard never changes his spots and Sullivan never changes his fucking methods. Do you know what I mean?
And that's the truth, isn't it? I mean, the only thing we kind of, since the old Prague thing, the only thing we've been winning awards for, and that is that pitch, the pitch below you. We've won countless times. The groundsmen have done a fantastic job. The stadium itself, we all know what the stadium is. No two ways about it. The pitch is the pitch, and that's their turf. That's their office. So when they cross that white line, they're supposed to be doing a job for us. And of course, you're expecting the manager to do something. The chairman just sits there on his fucking ass, and he's just there. There's no kind of enthusiasm in him. There's no kind of
I agree.
Nothing. He's just like he's just there. It's like a parasite at the end of the day.
Do you think he wants to go down, Tone? In one way,
I suppose the way you look at it, like if he wants to go down, then if he's looking at the kind of long-term prospect, if I go down, I've got to get someone that's going to. If I wanted someone to kind of take the club on, I've got to get someone that's going to offer top dollar, and I can make maximum profit and walk away from this. And that's the only way I see it like that. I can't see him for any other reason. I mean, for him, it's an ideal thing, because he knows full well if they can't get up that first season, then it brings the wage bill down. Because they're saying, knowing him, that's something he'll do first of all when he comes in. When they get relegated, it's a case of, right, because of that loss of earnings, blah blah blah, got to reduce your wages. That's something that man would do in a heartbeat.
He would do, mate. He would do. And that's the one thing that sort of gripes on me a little bit, because all the players that have been linked with are all championship-based players. Like every one of them near enough. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I know West Ham do well in the championship market, and they have signed players in the championship market, as people keep telling me. But this one feels different. It just feels like West Ham are sort of. It's like it's like Plan B, basically. Like they're going to go after these players, because if we don't stay up, they've got the best championship quality. A bit like Ipswich at the minute, where Ipswich was buying all the best championship players. I think they're sitting in 6th in the league at the minute. So, it is what it is. I've got a peaceful guy in the chat. He says, Luger's suggestion, no way Sullivan wants us to go down. We'll knock hundreds of millions of his value overnight. But isn't that the point, though, peaceful guy? That Sullivan isn't prepared to sell, mate. Because, like, if he was prepared to go, and he would say, right, I am going to be looking to sell the club, the fan base would go easy on him. They would. I would, because I know that he's looking out to get out the club, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? And like I feel like he wants to still be at West Ham. Sullivan's got no other. What else has Sullivan got in his life other than West Ham? He's got a bird that shakes her ass on a fucking boat. That's about it, right? But what else has he got in his life other than West Ham, right? And the Birmingham fan told me this. I'll never forget what he said. He said, James, fan pressure will get Sullivan out the door. And it has, the ante has been upped when it comes to Sullivan. The issue is, has it been upped enough to want him out, or for him to want to go? That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's I think going back to what you said about with the protests and stuff. This is the thing. That's the way why I'm saying you can't exactly kind of dismiss it, because once you do that,
Yeah.
it loses all its relevance. If they ramp it up next year, it'd be another thing. But then too little, too late. Maybe it could be the case of that, because by that stage we could be already kind of looking at us preparing for the championship, and just saying that alone, it's fucking hard to say it.
It is sad, man, I must admit. Right, before I let you go, Tom, all right, we've got Man City. I think we all expect to lose that game. I'll be very shocked if West Ham get anything out of that game. What are you expecting from Fulham, Brighton, and Wolves, mate, over the Christmas period?
Well, the Fulham game, again, if Silver's got it right with his team and that, then they're more than capable of getting something out of us, which they've proved before in the past. The Brighton game is the one for me, because you look at that one, they're very hit and miss at the moment, aren't they? Brighton. So there's an opportunity to get something out of that. And when you look at the Wolves game, you look at the Arsenal game, it just proves that Rob Edwards is starting to imprint something into that team, because, okay, they scored 2 own goals, but if it weren't for them, they would give Arsenal a game. And that in itself is a worrying aspect, because if I'm the manager at that point, that's what I'm using him as my team talk to motivate these boys to get something out of us. And I think typical West Ham, as you've known full well, when you look at Liverpool, losing 6-7 games on the bounce, come to us and there we are with our red carpets. There's the goal, go and help yourself.
Yeah,
I believe that could be the same with Wolves.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to say this: if we get to Wolves and Wolves haven't won a game and Wolves go and beat us, I think I'll be done with Nuno. At that stage, I think he's on thin ice with me at the minute. I don't know about you. I will ask you that in a minute, but for me, I think he's on thin ice. If he goes to Wolves on the 3rd of January and Wolves beat us and they haven't won a game all fucking season, other than the game that they beat us in the fucking cup, then I'm going to be looking at this and going, well, what the fuck is going on? Like, do you know what I'm saying? What do you think in regard to these three, though? Like, in regards to Nuno, though, Tone? Because I think he needs a win. He needs a win from somewhere. He needs to pull a win out of his arse.
I think that's the thing he's probably screaming out for, isn't it? Is that if he can get that, he can then motivate, because you've just got to sometimes watch him on the sideline. He's quite a happy-go-lucky bloke when you look at him when he's talking to people and this and the other. Excuse me. But if you watch him on the sidelines, he's shaking his head at certain things that goes on. It's like, but you're picking the team. You're the one that's telling them the tactics and what to do. Yes, fair enough, when they cross that white line, that's what they've got to do. But you've basically told them this is what you're expecting out of them, where you want them to be, what style of play you're going to do, the formation, etc. So I think, I agree totally. He needs that win under his belt just to G the confidence up. Not just to the players, but I think also for himself, because he's probably begging out for a win as well. Because I think if you look at it, he's obviously kind of saying, "How else can I do this?" So I think when he first came in, you could just see, when we lost the first couple of games, he could tell straight away that he had a job on his hands.
Yeah.
But I do, and I agree with what you're saying. I can understand what you say about Nuno about being on thin ice, because he doesn't help himself. We know the clubs he's been at, he's a decent manager. It just seems that, I don't know, there's something that something's not clicking, which has clicked in other teams.
I just feel he needs to be brave, Tone. I think all it has to be, right? Like, for instance, Saturday, right? Do I want West Ham to go at City? I do, to a point, but I don't want to get hammered. Yeah, but if West Ham are 70 minutes in the game and they're drawing the game, I need to see West Ham be together as a team unit, and Nuno using the subs at the right time.
Yeah.
Listen, Manchester City away is not going to define us this season, right? It's far from it. Yeah, Man City away is not going to decide whether we're going to go up or go down. But the next three after that will do. And
Yeah.
I can't keep hearing people covering for him and saying, "Oh, it's a good draw. I was unlucky. They're a good side." Because my fear is West Ham play Fulham. I've got a feeling West Ham will win out of Fulham or Brighton. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I think West Ham win one of them games. The Wolves game worries me a little bit because we expect to beat them. That's the difference. And us going there, we're gonna say every West Ham fan's gonna be going, right, they ain't won a fucking game all season. Right. We expect to beat them. If every other team's beating them, Leeds are beating them, Burnley are beating them at their gaff, West Ham United must be going there to win. And that will be the one where I need to see Nuno be Nuno Espirito Santos of fucking Nottingham Forest, not of West Ham, of Forest, and win games. I feel like he's. I don't know. I can't get my fucking hands on what the problem is at the minute. I feel like he's got the handbrake up for some reason when he doesn't have to. Tone.
Like, we were squealing.
Yeah, like I'm not being funny, right? At this precise moment in time, right? Every West Ham fan would say, right, go for the wins now. Yeah, like have no fear, right? The problem is with West Ham, every West Ham fan is fearful at the minute. Some people are very naive to the situation, right? And I don't like to say this, but some of these people haven't experienced relegation, right? And not me and you have experienced relegation, like, and I will never forget 2003. I will never forget that because I see West Ham have Champions League form come the end of the season. Like Glenn Roeder obviously when they brought in Trevor Brooking and Brooking done his fucking very best to keep us in this league, right?
Yeah.
Fucking legend of the game. Now, some people think, no, we'll be fine. But I don't know whether it's being naive to the situation, being arrogant to the situation. I don't know what it is. But I feel like Nuno has to start delivering wins. Right. Points, 1 point's no good. We need 3. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, that naivety and that, where you said we've experienced it, and it's not a nice feeling. That 2003 one, for me was the thing. I mean, I never forget Glenn Johnson. We've got to stay together, boys.
Yeah,
and make sure we get back up in there. Glenn, yeah. Chelsea's on the phone. They want you. Do they? Taxi, and he was gone than anyone else. And this is the fear, isn't it? Is that, but with Nuno, I suppose the only thing you can look at like this: if we're playing at their gaff, is he going to have that? I want to do one over you and that because you was my old employers. I want to get one over on you, and maybe we may see him step up, but he needs to do it in every single game. Can't just be because it's his former employers. He's got to be at all the games until the end of the season to see us through this and keep us in this league for for another season so we can rebuild. But that's a Christmas wish, mate. But I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Finally, time. Billy Bonds will be laid to rest tomorrow. Obviously, you would have seen him play. What are your thoughts on his time, mate, on earth?
What else can you say? I mean, the legend in himself, 799 games, wasn't it? He played for us, managed the club. I actually, when I was at West Ham, he was manager at the time. A very, very quiet man when on his time alone kind of thing, but just an absolute legend. And the funny thing was, I think when I went on that tour around the stadium, and Gailey's telling us when they named the stand after him, he just couldn't believe it. He goes, "Why? Why me? Why me?" And Gailey's looking at us like, "Bill, are you serious? They love you, mate. They adore you. You stand through and through. That's the reason why, kind of thing." And when you see those tears when he was at that stadium, and that they were genuine. They were heartfelt. But yes, it's a sad passing and that, and we'll never forget him.
Is that the last tone of the legends at West Ham? Would you say? Because I can't picture anyone else really who will do what he done And listen, not everyone's going to do what Billy Bond's done. Far from it. And also being at a club and actually generally caring about the club. Now, I do look at Bowen. And I think what Bowen's done at this club over the last 5 years has been phenomenal. Goals, the goal in Prague, captain, everything. Is that the last of the legends for you?
I think you've got to say in that respects, yeah. Yeah, I mean, no one would achieve what he's done. I mean, Noble, you can't fault what he's done, but he's only done half of what Bill did.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, yeah, I think what you're saying, I mean, it's good we've still got Hurst around, stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, of them teams and that, if you look over to me left, you can see old Frank Lampard Senior there. But other than that, yeah, Bill, no one's going to beat that.
Yeah, it is a shame, mate. I'm not going to lie. And when I heard the news the other week in the morning, on the Sunday morning, I thought, nah, it's a crying shame. What we need is someone like him. That's exactly what we need. And you know what I mean? It's such a shame that we've got a fucking charlatan in charge of this club. That's the problem. We've got someone who looks at the club and just prepared to see it run into the fucking ground. And for me, I find that so hard. So I don't know about you, I find it so hard to accept. But I think with all the years of me stepping away from West Ham, not stepping foot in the LS, seeing it from afar, I think a lot of people have started to see what I've seen over the years, and people have started to drift away. Funnily enough, I was at at Dagenham Redbridge the other day, and there was an event down there, Christmas gala thing. I had Tony Gale, Phil Parks, all the old boys there. I think Alan Dickens was there, footballer there, and I heard a few things there. And a lot of people are saying this is my final year. I'm going to do one more year next year, and that's me done. And it is a shame that the tide is starting to turn and people are starting to walk away, and West Ham is starting to become what Sullivan always wanted, and that's a franchise scheme. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we're ever going to get that back. I think we will get it back one day once he goes. It's going to take time, though, because I think trying to get the trust back in the fan base again, and I'm going to speak for myself on this one, it's going to take a long time to trust an owner again, because the owner that we've currently got has fucking ruined us. But that is an hard one to accept. It really is. But it is what it is. Time, before I let you go, mate, any final words from you, son?
Well, I will say, mate, from a personal level on that, thank you very much for your support over the years. It's been absolutely superb knowing you and get on with it. And to you and yours, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, mate.
No worries at all, mate. Anytime. One thing with me, I help anyone. If they message me and they need promoting or anything, fucking just give me a shout and I will promote you as best as I can. Because we're all West Ham at the end of the day. I will do it if no other fucking person will. So there you go. Tone, have a Merry Christmas from me and take care of yourself, mate. All the best to you.
Take care.
All the best, man. That's been Tony. Hammers Football TV. Put it in Google, put it in YouTube, Hammers Football TV. Go and subscribe to the man's channel. He's trying to get his way in the YouTube world. He talks a lot of sense, Time. He's a good man. And he's West Ham through and through. And I've known him a few years, met him through the circuit, he invited me on, and yeah, he's a top man. Chuck your comments in. I'm going to go for another half hour, I think. I'll do an half hour set, and then it'll be me done with the flashing lights. And listen, before anyone says it ain't police at my house, fuck, I'm going to say that now. It is. It's a Christmas tree. So anyone thinks that the old Bill's turned up to try and nick me because of my Sullivan hate, you are truly mistaken. So yeah, chuck your comments in, and we will have a chat about it. But listen, I agree with what Tony's saying about certain things. I do. I think what he said about Prague's pretty spot on. I think the damage happened the moment we won that trophy. Yeah. And I will never let that trophy go, ever. But listen, if I was to fucking go tomorrow, right, and my birthday was on Tuesday, I had a really good day. But if I was to go tomorrow, I'd always have that moment that West Ham, I actually witnessed West Ham win a trophy in my lifetime, which there's people like Peach, anyone who remembers Peach, who's no longer with us, he would have loved to have seen that. Do you know what I mean? So for me to see that, yeah, it is thingy. Taylor, hope you're well, James, mate. I'm good, man. I'm good. I really am good. I'm just looking forward to Christmas, not looking forward to the game tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Saturday, but it is what it is. But you just got you got to appreciate life, and you got to appreciate the people around you. That's why I don't mind helping anyone, mate. If I'm being truthfully honest. And yeah, I had a good birthday. And listen, I want to shout out all the people that sent me messages. Fuck me, I had a load of messages. I done that video about Lucas Paqueta, and I just said it was my birthday, and I got a load of fucking messages. So I really do appreciate it, and it shows the love that I've got in this community. And all I try and do is just be straight down the line with you. And yeah, I do feel like this year might be the last year that West Ham might be in the Premier League. But yeah, it ain't good, mate. So yeah, get your comments in, and anything you want to discuss, any topics of conversation, chuck them in the chat, and we'll have a discussion about it. James, how good is your pool game? 8 ball or 9 ball? I used to play 9 ball when I was 14. Started playing when I was 14, 9 ball, changed over to 8 ball, English 8 ball, and been playing ever since, mate. So I'm 39 now. What's my maths like on that? Is that 25 years? Yeah, I think it's about 25 years, I think. Yeah, been playing a long time, mate. Long time. And do you know what? When I won that trophy the other week, I was very proud of myself, really, because I'll give up the game for a little while. And everything, and got back playing again. And do you know what? I actually got back playing because of the fucking shit I was getting on here. And got back playing. I won a little competition. And I won 10 points. I won a gift voucher. And on the gift voucher, it had 10 pints, like 10 free pints. So I had them 10 free pints. That was fucking very nice. I used that over a period of time, and yeah, that was all good. But yeah, the game's good, a good game. It's a shame that all the pool clubs are all shutting down, though. That's the only problems. That is the only problem. Right, let's get to Paul. I think people said Sullivan wants us to go down. I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but we should show it. Get his wallet out. Yeah, get his wallet out indeed, mate. Could you beat Andy Goldstein at TalkSport? Andy Goldstein, actually, I'm pretty sure played in the Barking and Dagenham District League. I'm sure he played in the Barking and Dagenham District League years and years ago. That's the league I used to play. Barking and Dagenham Pool League back in the day. Go back 20 years ago. Was one of the best leagues in the country. It had champions in there. Actually, like 9 ball champions, 8 ball champions. Had some of the best talent that I've ever seen. Like, and that's how you learnt your trade, basically, playing against the best players around. Like, there was a player, Rob Hill, was a fucking phenomenal pool player. There was a geezer called Darren Collison who played out of Dagenham, but he was like world rules player, fucking superb, like, talented player. He actually beat me with a broken arm, with one arm, right? And I was only about 18, but he was just phenomenal, breaking dish merchant, and you just learn over the years. Do you know what I'm saying? And some of these players carry it on, some people don't. One of my mates, who doesn't really play that much, used to play for tons of money. When I say tons, I mean talking like 25 grand up. Like, I remember going to Derby, right, and talk about a bad night, right. Went all the way to Derby with him. There's about 25 of us. And he was playing for 25 grand, right? And it was first to 25, and he was 24, 23 up, and he lost 25-24. Geezer cleared up from, I think he broke dry, Geezer cleared, and the Geezer broke and cleared. And we was like, yeah, fucking curse, mate. Absolute curse. But do you know what? I do miss that sort of vibe, because it's like being at a football match, but like having 2 sets aside, and yeah, when there's a lot of money on the line. Fuck me, I've seen some action. Let's put it like that. Let's get to Henry's comment. Hi mate, hope you had a good birthday. Lingard rumours again. Yeah, birthday was good, mate. Another year older. I had a Nando's. Do you know what? I went down to Bond Street in London and had a little look around London with the partner. Yeah, really good. Very surprising that I can get to Bond Street in like 30 minutes from my house, which was quite baffling. But yeah, it was all good, man. It was all good. I'm a decent at pool, but crumble when playing for money. Yeah, mate, trust me, I've played for money and many a time. I've lost a lot of money and I've earned a bit of money. So yeah, the moral of the story is don't play for fucking money, mate. I'm gonna say, keep your money, save it, spend it on your missus or on your family. That's what I'll say to that. That's what I'll say to that. The Lingard rumor. Just imagine if Lingard did turn up at West Ham. How embarrassing would that be? Fuck me. Jesse Lingard signs on a free transfer for 6 months. And there's actually people, right? I swear they must do it for a laugh. Right? They must do it for a laugh. Right? There's people that go, yeah, he wouldn't be a bad signing. I'm thinking, is this the standard that we've got? Like, what do people think on Thiago Silva? Like a 41-year-old Thiago Silva. Now he's better than all of our defenders. But 41 years old. Like, yeah, thank you very much. Embarrassing for him or us. Oh, yeah, I know, mate. Bit of both, really. Bit of both. James, who are we getting in the January transfer window? I think Traore's on his way. I think that's a done deal, I reckon. I reckon come January the 6th, 7th, I reckon that's a done deal. And this is what I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping what it is that we play on the 3rd is an FA Cup game. After the FA Cup game, I think players will be allowed to go, right? I think Traore from Fulham to West Ham is as good as done. After that, I don't know who the striker's going to be, right? I'm seeing links to fucking every fucking person at the minute. And a centre half is the key one because whoever we sign at centre half, whoever it is, they have to hit the ground running. You can't have this old spiel of they need time to bed into the club. They need time to bed in. That shit's got to stop. They ain't got time to bed into the club. They need to have. They need to hit the ground running straight away. I'm hoping that we get a centre half in, right? I think Tadibo has improved, but I need someone who's better than Tadibo, Kilman, and Mavropanos. So trying to find a player that's better than all three of them will be interesting. Someone like a Harry Maguire would be fucking perfect, really, if I'm being truthful. Evening, James. Sergeant Lingard, we are a laughing stock. David Sullivan for you, mate. I'm afraid. There's not a lot else to be said on that, really. Like, Sullivan's got his eye on the Championship players, mate. That's all I'm going to say. Because every link seems to be a Championship player, right? And this propaganda that's going around, I'm going to say this. The propaganda that is Sullivan wants homegrown players from the Championship. Biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my life. Biggest load of shite I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like Nuno's going to go, right, all I want is Championship players. No, it's more like Sullivan's got an agent or agents in the Championship, and he knows Sullivan knows he can do deals in the Championship for less money than going abroad and trying to find someone. Oh dear. Saw he was linked with Ross Barkley too. Gets worse, doesn't it? But Joe, what? I could see that happening though. That's the problem. I could generally see that sort of happening. I will probably take Silva on loan for experience, and yes, he's better than what we have. Thiago Silva. How much money do you think we will have to spend? Well, we all know what the excuse is with Sullivan. Sullivan has turned around and made it clear that he has to sell before he can buy. Now, let's weigh this up quick. James Ward-Prowse is out the door. He's gone. I think Guido Rodriguez will go. It won't surprise me if Andy Irving goes, right? Because they're going to want first team football. Andy Irving definitely going to want first team football because he wants to try and compete for the World Cup, Scotland, etc. Krug will go. I think Lewis Guilherme goes. I can see that one happening. If West Ham get rid of 5 or 6 players, they need to bring in at least 4. I don't think Mavropanos, Kilman, or Tadibo are going to go. I think they're going to keep them and strengthen. Mads Hermansen, he will be like it's his first season at West Ham. He's the goalkeeper. If we go down, he'll be the goalkeeper in the Championship. Midfield picks itself with the three midfield players that we've got currently right now, so I can't see that one changing. So you bring in another midfielder. I'm not fully against Kobe Mainu, but I can't see it happening. I think it goes abroad. So if we get rid of, say, I think we'd be lucky if we spend about 40 million in the January window. Sullivan doesn't spend big in the window, mate, unless he absolutely has to. And the thing is, he actually needs to find a Souček and Bowen reboot. That's what he needs to do. So go back 6 years ago when we signed Bowen and Souček in that January window, which technically helped us stay in the league. That's what we need to do again. And I just hope West Ham are ready for this. I really do. And it is, for me, it's us against Leeds. It's North versus South. It's Yorkshire versus London. That is what it is. That's what it's boiling down to now for me. And I don't see any other team involved. I don't think Burnley will finish above us. I really don't. I think Burnley stay where they are. I think Wolves stay where they are. And that's what it is. That's what it is for me. Let's get to FJG Irons. Shout out to my guy. James, if we manage to stay up in 2003, sorry, with all the young talent we had back then, do you think our fortunes could have changed if we kept and built on that young, exciting team we had? Cool, that's a good question, mate. Lucky, that's comment of the night. Do you know what? West Ham would have been. Ooh. Do you know what? We will never know. But obviously, Trevor Brooking had come in and he was trying to save us, right? West Ham would have went out and got a manager with that crop of players. If West Ham would have got the right manager, West Ham could have done some good things. Don't forget, it was only a few years later that we got to an FA Cup final. And West Ham had built from that 2003, 3 years later, we got to an FA Cup final and lost to Liverpool. So, I don't know, mate. Defoe, Carrick, Glenn Johnson, Di Canio, Canute, Trevor Sinclair. We had some good players, mate. We had some fucking excellent players back in the day. In 2003, and I remember that clear as day. It was heartbreaking when we went down. I think Joe Cole. I'm not too sure if Joe Cole was in there or he had left. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember. I think he was there still, Joe Cole. So, you know, it would have been. It could have been something amazing, right? But it just wasn't to be at the end of the day. And the thing is, to go down on 42 points or 43 points or whatever it was something that will never be done again. Never. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know. James, great show. Carry on, mate. Experience facts, which some can't handle. You have plenty of support, mate. Merry Christmas. Catch up soon. Good night. Go and subscribe to Hammers Football TV. See there? Hammers Football. That says TV. It looks like ITV, but you know, go and subscribe to that man's channel. Absolute legend of the game, Tony. He's one of the good guys. Trust me, he's one of the good guys. If you want to support one of the good guys, he's one of them. I can vouch for him. In an ideal world, who is your manager of West Ham? I don't know, mate. I don't know. With the team that we've got, we would have to go out and find someone out of complete nowhere. I think West Ham need to bring in a manager that actually understands the meaning of the club. Now, with Nuno, I'm hoping Nuno succeeds. I really do. Like, I'm not going to deny it. I really hope he does. But he's got to prove it. And the problem is, it feels like to me, is that people are not happy when people call out Nuno's flaws. Don't know why. So, I don't know who my ideal manager would be. Really, I'd like to see someone who's going to come in, stir it up a little bit. Like Pochettino would be a great manager for West Ham, right? Someone who would like get people up and alert. I know people sort of say about Jose. No, you don't want Jose. I want someone who's going to come in and be right up for it. like from minute one. Do you know what I'm saying? The problem is, I think Nuno. The problem is we won't know until Nuno gets his players, right? And whatever players they are, then great. But he can't even get his own staff at the minute. So, ultimately, a lot of them would have been sold, but we probably would have kept our Premier League status for longer and got good replacements. I think one or two would have been sold, mate. I really do. But I think Defoe would have stayed for a few years. I think Glenn Johnson stays for a few years. And the thing is, us being in the Premier League, the value of them players at that time would have been sky high because West Ham would have had Premier League status. So I can't remember what we sold Glenn for. I think it was like 18 million or something, right? I know we sold Defoe for like peanuts and all. So it would have been cheap, cheerful signings, really. But it wasn't to be. Who is a worse signing, Krug or Lewis Guilherme? Excellent question. Do you know what? I actually got blocked on Twitter, right? I actually got blocked on Twitter because I said about Lewis Guilherme, and there was a geezer say, "Oh, you've got to give him time. He hasn't had no game time and all this shit." Right? I think Lewis Guilherme, I feel sorry for him more than anything. I generally do. I feel sorry for the kid because I feel like he was brought in on a PR experiment. Simple as that. I think he was signed because our technical director at the time couldn't find the talent that he was looking for. And I remember people that he was getting linked with. Bruno, Wesley was another one. There was another centre forward, Pedro or Pedri or whatever his fucking name is, right? There was so many players that was linked to through Brazil, and I feel like Tim Steidten had to bring someone back, and he took the gamble on Lewis Guilherme. My issue is not the player. So I feel sorry for the player. I really do. I feel like he's turned out West Ham. He's been here what, 2 years? I think it is. I think he signed in the summer under Lopetegui. So it'd be 2 summers. So he's been here 18 months, sorry. Right. I generally feel sorry for the kid. And I feel like he's been just chucked in. But Tim Steidten was the problem there. And people used to say to me that Tim Stein's going to change the game for West Ham. Look what he done at Leverkusen. And my attitude was this. Whatever he does at Leverkusen, who fucking cares? I care about what he does at West Ham. And he didn't do nothing at West Ham. Nicholas Krug was a panic boy. Plain and simple. Right? And when you are hunting down John Duran, and as luck would have it, that's the sort of player West Ham need right now. We need a cunt up front. We need someone who's young, athletic, who's a bit of a bastard, bit of a maverick, prepared to fight, and we'll be fine. But when Sullivan wouldn't pay the money, right, for John Duran, they changed their tactics straight away, and they went from 21, 22-year-old John Duran to then Nicholas Krug, which made no sense. Krug coming here people were signing the name. Nicholas Krug, German international, Champions League finalist. That's what it was. Simple as that. And that's where it's gone wrong. Who's the worst of signing? I'm just gonna say Krug, really, because I feel sorry for Guilherme. Guilherme has just been signed here and just fucking exiled, really. Do you know what I mean? Is he going to be the real deal? I don't think so. I look at Freddie Potts, and Freddie Potts has been out and known his game. I don't think Guilherme's nowhere near ready. Now, if West Ham do choose to sell him, which wouldn't surprise me in the January window to raise funds, there's going to be a shame, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm not surprised. I really am not. I was so confused by the sign of Guilherme. We wouldn't have paid the extra 5 million for Duran. We'd happily pay 25 mil for a winger in Brazil with 1 goal in 40 games. Completely agree, mate. Completely agree. Let's all go back. And get your memories ready, lads and ladies. Let's go back to last January. I remember it clear as day. The last January window, West Ham put a bid in for John Duran for £57 million. Yep, 57 million. But they knew Villa wanted 65 or 63, I think it was. Right. I remember we was linked with Andre Silva in that window. There was another striker that we was linked with and all. And it was like a phantom bid from Sullivan. Like Sullivan, this is where it's wrong. Sullivan is the problem because he's just always going to go. He's always going to lowball a club. That's another thing, and this is another problem that we've got with Sullivan in the January window and all. And when I say about time, right, I don't mean time as in the January window time. I mean time to get the deals done. For instance, how many times have we sat there and gone, right, we need a centre forward in? It takes West Ham 2.5, 3 weeks to get the deal done. But then there's teams like Aston Villa or Brighton who will have the player signed, sealed, and delivered 2 days. That falls on West Ham at the end of the day. It really does. Let's get to Pat. James, are you worried about the wing backs off to AFCON? Walker-Peters and Scholes can do a job. We've got Guilherme and forward crew because something messed up, not signing Duran for £40 million. Yeah, I completely agree. Right, the wing back situation. He's going to a back five, mate. Don't be surprised if Mavropanos plays right back. That is no joke. Right? Anyone who's sitting there looking on their phone right now going, what the fuck is James saying about Mavropanos at right back? I'm going to tell you. When he was at Stuttgart, I think he was, Mavropanos used to play right back. And he scored a banging goal at right back. Don't be surprised if you see Mavropanos right back, Carl Walker-Peters left back. And then you've got the two centre halves of Kilman or who's the other one? Brazilian. I can't remember his fucking name. Igor and Todibo or Kilman and Todibo. That's what I can see happening. Right, West Ham play like that until they get to the January window. Then they'll go and loan a player in. So that's what I can see happening. If he goes to a back five against Fulham, Wolves, and fucking Brighton, I don't know. We got no hope. Do you know what I'm saying? So there you go. I remember Sully offering Ollie Scholes or Earthy and 40 million to get Durant. It wasn't them two players, mate. It was Lewis Orford. That he offered. He offered Lewis Orford and 40 mil, and they said no. And I think they wanted 55. I think it was 55 mil they wanted, or 50 mil. And Sullivan just wouldn't pay the money. In my eyes, Antonio wasn't a striker. West Ham really had a full-on good striker for at least a decade, honestly. Yes, we have brought in so many lame ducks. It's astonishing. That's why I can personally see a winger coming in and Bowen being pushed into a centre-forward role. That wouldn't surprise me at all. It really wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if Bowen's pushed up there and use Callum Wilson as a backup option. That wouldn't surprise me. Lopetegui played Mavropanos second half versus Brentford at the G-Tech last year. I think someone got injured, so he stuck him at right back, but it worked. Yeah, I can see it. I can see Mavropanos going right back, mate. The problem is you're not going to have no overlapping runs. That's one thing that you're not going to have. You're not going to have no overlapping runs. You're just going to have a player that's going to say, right, give the ball to Bowen, let him do the work. It's not a bad thing because out of possession they can go to a back three, right? They can go to a three at the back and then allow Carl Walker-Peters to go on and fill up the midfield. So it's not a bad thing. I don't think Ollie Scholes is the guy, even though I want him to be. And Carl Walker-Peters hasn't been that bad. So who knows? Who knows on the right back situation? It's all about the centre forward situation for me. Who they're going to get. People have been linked with Chris Wood, Josh Sargent. There's a Swansea player and all. I've got no idea who this geezer is, but apparently Swansea centre forward. West Ham have been linked with. I just can't believe West Ham are in this situation. Like, but it's scrambling around for players, literally scrambling. So, you know, it is quite shocking, really. It really is. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to make a move and I'm going to love and leave you. I've done this after our show. My sort of quick fire preview is that I think we're going to get hammered against City. I really genuinely do. I think it is going to be what it is, and we're going to move on to Fulham. I will be back with an afterthought. In what aspect, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll be there doing it live, or I will do something in the evening, late in the evening. I don't know where I'm going to be on Saturday afternoon, but I will do the videos as usual. The afterthought will be up there, and the player ratings will be up there. I will try and watch the game wherever I am, but I'm not expecting anything from this game. The Fulham game coming up is the one. That's like we need a Christmas miracle. And if we somehow go to the LS against Fulham and win, Brighton win, and then Wolves somehow win, then hopefully the signs will be looking good. I generally mean that. I am fearful this year. Never been more fearful about relegation in my life. West Ham just seem to, everything that's happening, everything what I'm saying seems to be happening. And I want West Ham to be successful. And for some reason, they're fucking not. But nevertheless, it is what it is. But we will find out. Smash a like on the video. Goes a long way. Thank you very much for all the birthday messages on this stream tonight and in my comment section the other day. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for all the subscribers who have been popping up from other channels and coming over here. I really do appreciate it. Also, more subscribers the merrier. And it is what it is. I will be trying to do like a little Christmas. I might do a little Christmas party on next week. So if you're about next week, I might do it at a reasonable time, have a little Christmas get together, and see if I can get a few people on and have their little moments and things like that. But I do like doing these after hours ones. It's quiet, it's chilled, and you've got a lovely tree there. Do you know what I mean? That just keeps the Christmas spirit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is that on that. Thank you very much for Tony coming on tonight and all. Been an absolute pleasure having him on this platform. And yeah, listen, prepare yourself for Saturday, man. Like, because I think it's going to be like, it's either going to go one or two ways. We're either going to get beat small, or we're going to get beat fucking heavy. Whatever way we get beat, we're just going to have to take it. But listen, our season ain't going to be defined by Manchester City away. Let's put it like that. Anyway, much love to you. Be safe, be well, be lucky, be happy. Merry Christmas to everyone. And I will see you again in the next one. Peace.